Good morning. This is Miss Cassidy, and I am here to read you Plantzilla by Jerdine Nolen, illustrated by David Catrow. And I gotta say, David Catrow, one of my faves. I love his illustrations. He does a great job. They're very comical and cute. Lots of fun colors. So I really like that illustrator. All right, so Plantzilla, here we go. All right. I love how he wrote out the word in a plant. Okay, by the way, some copyright stuff. Here you go. Don't sue me. I'm just doing virtual learning. All right. Here is a beautiful picture. It looks like one of those plants that eats things, a Venus flytrap maybe. So we got the dedication page, and here we go. All right, so I'm gonna scan from this side. You see a little boy and a dog. He's sitting on some steps, and he looks like he lives in a pretty big house. It's an unusual couch. And looky here, here's a letter. So he puts the date on the top, June 8th. And he says, Dear Mr. Lester. All right, let's read this letter. I would like to bring Plantzilla home for the summer. All year long, I sat next to him. I brushed him. I watered him. I kept his growth charts. Plantzilla is the only plant I care that much about. Besides, he might miss me over the vacation and wonder where I am. I want Plantzilla, only Plantzilla, please. I have had so much fun with him in 3rd grade. I can hardly wait until next year. Your new, soon-to-be 4th grade student, Mortimer Henryson. Okay, so here's Mortimer. All right, so he wrote a letter. Mortimer wrote a letter to Mr. Lester. Okay, so showing you the picture. We got, typical outside giant tree. Got a nice fence, and here he is. Mortimer is up in a tree, and it looks like he is staring at a picture of a plant, and he's sitting next to a squirrel, like normal people do. All right, here we go. Here is the next letter. It says June 8th. To whom it may concern. And this is written in some fancy handwriting in cursive. Mortimer Harrison has permission to bring home a plant over summer vacation. We are happy to provide the care a plant would need to grow and thrive, as much sunlight does pour in through our windows. And there is more than enough water flowing from our clear crystal springs. We will be breathing a little easier now with all that extra oxygen. Don't you think this makes for the best kind of symbiotic relationship? Very truly yours, Mr. and Mrs. Henry Henryson. P.S. Mortimer does have his heart set on this one plant in particular. He calls it Plantzilla. Do I have that right? It does seem like an odd name for a plant. All right, so now we got Mom and Dad involved. Writing to Mr. Lester. Okay, now this is a fancy typed letter. I'm going to read it to you in just a second, but I wanted to show you a picture. Looks like a lot of fun. Looks like somewhere I'd want to be, except for I wouldn't want to be close to that volcano. But everything else looks amazing. I think this is kind of funny. And here we are. Let's figure out who this guy is that's sitting in the hammock. June 9th. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Harrison, I am delighted that Mortimer has chosen Plantzilla. The plants were named based on their characteristics. The children nicknamed this one Plantzilla because Zilla sounds like cilia. As you probably are aware, cilia is a term used in botany to describe a hair-like material that can run along the margin or edge of a structure such as a leaf, usually forming a fringe. Mortimer has taken charge of Priscilla's care and development. I am sure he will want to continue this over the summer. Of course, there are cases where the fondness for these plants grows as well. Don't be surprised if you find it difficult to part with Plantzilla at summer's end. If this should happen, I'm happy to tell you that adoption is not out of the question. Feel free to write or have Mortimer drop me a postcard if any questions should crop up, or just let me know how things are going. My address is, and then it shows his address, showing that. It says Samuel G. Mortimer, in care of, that's what that means, C-O, care of Planetarium Holiday Aloha Resort in Honolulu, Hawaii. Very truly yours, Samuel G. Lester, science teacher and plant program coordinator, Strew Bricks Day School. P.S. Be so kind and provide transportation for Plantzilla. These plants are not allowed on the bus. All right. So, this is Mr. Lester, and he is in Honolulu. Lucky him. All right. Here's the picture. All right, and you can see that the plant has some arms. Mortimer's taking notes, and the arms are reaching for things. June 15th. Dear Mr. Lester, thank you for Plantzilla. Things are really going great. Plantzilla loves living here. I can tell. I just knew he would be happy. Remember when you said that different plants have different growing preferences? That is so true. Wait until you see how Plantzilla is growing. The best news of all is that Plantzilla is beginning to eat real food, mostly meat. I'll keep my notes up and will write again soon. Your student, Mortimer H. So, I don't know what I think about plants eating meat, but seems to be okay for this plant. All right, here's the beautiful picture. We have another letter. I'll let you look at the picture while I'm reading. June 25th. Okay, and here is Mortimer. Dear Mr. Lester, remember when you told us caring for plants in this program gives you more benefits than you could ever imagine? That is so true. Plantzilla is so amazing. Wait until you see him. It's like he's more than alive. Sometimes all I want to do is water him, brush his hair, and watch him grow. He seems to like it when I loosen the soil around the top of his pot. I could watch him all day, but Mother says I should be running around and playing outside. I wish I could bring Plantzilla along. To me, he's more than just a plant. Thank you so much for giving me the chance to show you how I can really care for Plantzilla. You may not even recognize him anymore. I love Plantzilla. Your friend, Mortimer H. All right, so I see some wacky stuff going on here. We got some toothbrush action, some regular brush action. We have some ears being cleaned out. Ooh, a razor. I didn't know he was old enough to shave. They're brushing his hair. So we got lots of stuff going on. All right. All right, June 28th. We got another letter. I will let you look at the picture while I read. All right. I'm guessing that this is Dad. June 28th. Dear Mr. Lester, I'm so proud of Plantzilla. He is the growing king. It's just like you said, a little water and sunlight make all the difference in a plant's life. Father thinks Plantzilla is making too much of a difference in my life. Mother thinks Plantzilla is taking up too much of my time. I told them he needs me. They have been marking the days on the calendar until the end of summer. I wish this summer with Plantzilla would never end. I think he feels that way too. Your student, Mortimer. All right. So we got this guy is making toast. He's trying to drink his coffee, read the newspaper, and he's got a plant reading over his shoulder. We got a fudge-sicle up here. It looks like some cornflakes, so we got a lot going on. All right. Another letter. Here it is. This one's June 30th, and it is written by Mortimer. And here is our beautiful picture. Looks like he's growing a little bit more. Okay, so that's kind of what's going on. I'll leave it right there, and it says, Dear Mr. Lester, things got a little weird yesterday. The police think the robbery was an inside job. You have to tell Mother it has nothing to do with Plantzilla. She'll listen to you. Grolier, her prize-winning chihuahua, is gone. Mother shrieked and fainted when she found Grolier's diamond collar in Plantzilla's leaves. I told her maybe Grolier just went for a little walk. Please write to her and tell her that Plantzilla doesn't eat pets. She'll listen to you. She thinks I've been spending too much time with Plantzilla. She thinks I brush him too much. But I need to do these things. Plantzilla needs me. All right, so here's a little collar. That must be the dog's collar. And notice that this guy kind of looks like he's laughing and that there's an eyeball here. The eyeball's looking at the police officer. The police officer doesn't even know what to do. He's like, what? All right, so this guy's getting pretty big. Look at this picture. It looks like maybe they're at a park having a picnic. And I see a dog flying through the air, playing frisbee. Ooh, Plantzilla has on a chef's hat, and he is making some meat. All right, looks like there's a game going on. This guy's eating some corn. All right, so I'll read the letter. Dear Mr. Lester, I felt I had to write to you. I knew of nowhere else to turn. If I had not seen these things with my own eyes, I would have not believed it. Plantzilla is able to move on its own. What is more, Plantzilla has developed an insatiable craving for meat, cooked meat of any kind. I am worried about Mortimer. He has become very attached. Although we are pleased to see Mortimer so motivated, Plantzilla has caused a great strain in our household. We Henrysons are not giver-uppers, but I am sure we are not the right family to continue with this program. I would be happy to have Plantzilla overnighted to you, at no cost to you at all, of course. Very wordly yours, Mrs. Henryson. Uh-oh. Looks like they're trying to give him back. Mom and Dad are changing their mind. Look at this cool picture. Lots of things going on. This looks like a beanstalk. Okay, the plant is all over the place. His pot is in a shoebox that says size 9.5E. And we got it going up a lamp. So I'm going to let you continue to look at this picture. Mortimer writes a letter. July 11th. Mr. Lester, things have gotten worse. My parents wanted me to write to you. They are not happy at all. Last night at dinner, they talked about putting Plantzilla out in the backyard until school starts. But Father is worried about the neighbors. I told them that the pot roast was all my fault. Plantzilla was just so hungry. Mother is afraid for Grolier. I know he just went for a very long walk. Could you write to them? I know they would listen to you. Tell them not to worry. Tell them to let Plantzilla stay. Father brought a shipping box home from his office. They want to send Plantzilla to you in an overnight mail. I don't think that they can. Plus, Plantzilla doesn't want to go. Please write soon and explain everything to them. Hurry! All right, and here's his letter. And notice how he always signs at the end of the letter. You sign your name. All right, so here's our letter. It's written in cursive, so I'm guessing it's from Mom. And here is the picture. Uh-oh, I see Dad. I see his boo honey. All right, so they are sitting at the dinner table, and it says, Dear Mr. Lester, July 23rd. I'm at a loss for where to begin. Events of this summer leave me quite baffled and searching for the proper way to put this. A metamorphosis has occurred in Plantzilla. He is no longer what he was, and we are not sure what he is turning out to be. Henry, Mr. Henryson, and I were wondering if it is ever possible for a plant to take on human characteristics. I know this sounds more than strange, but we were wondering if a species such as Plantzilla might show feelings. Henry wonders if I may have offended Plantzilla, not taking part in grooming his cilia. Despite that, Plantzilla shows enormous caring for us. In assessing these developments, we wonder if perhaps some of the causes of these changes rest with our son Mortimer. When we consider all the time, careful attention, and nurturing he has lavished on Plantzilla, it leaves us with one conclusion alone. When you give a living thing love, you never know where it will lead. We have grown very attached to Plantzilla. Whatever will we do without him? Yours very truly, Mrs. Henryson. Oh, so looks like they're changing their mind. I'm wondering how this dog and these squirrels, and notice that there's more squirrels, they must be close to the ceiling of the house. Trying to figure out them. So the family sounds like they're changing their mind. All right, so he's serving food. He's sitting, he's being used as a chair. All right, we have the plant. I don't know if he's coming from the outside in. I'm not sure, so let's go. All right, here's another letter. This one is from Mr. Lester. So the teacher finally writes back, and here he is writing a letter. Here we go. July 27th. Dear Mrs. Henryson, FYI, Mortimer's letter of July 11th and your letters of July 10th and 23rd were forwarded to me at my home. I am so sorry that this plant program has taken such a toll on your family and you. Please accept my deepest apologies. Now that I have returned, feel free to let me know the best time to collect Plantzilla. In response to your questions, in all my reading, research, and study, I have found nothing that backs up the notion that plants have feelings. However, I have said to my students time and time again, caring for plants in this program will give you more benefits than you could ever imagine. And yes, in my opinion, you may look no further than your son as the benefits of Plantzilla's experiences. Please let Mortimer know I'm looking forward to seeing all of his good works. Very truly yours, Samuel G. Lester, science teacher and plant program coordinator. All right, so he's traveled to a lot of places, as we can see, and he's got a lot of interesting things in his house. All right, here's a letter. It's from Mortimer. We see this cat. And then I'll let you look at this. Right here it says, August 2nd. Dear Mr. Lester, the best thing has happened. Plantzilla bloomed. I think we all liked seeing the pretty pinkish purplish blossoms sticking right out of his top. He smells good too. Mother wonders if Plantzilla wouldn't mind a visit from their gardening club. I think Plantzilla would like that very much. Mortimer. And look, he's got his leaf around his shoulder. These ladies must be from the garden club. Hey, There's a dog in there. Okay. And here is a Mortimer letter. Okay. Uh-oh. Something exciting is going on right there. We just saw that dog. So take a look at this. August 6th. Dear Mr. Lester, sometimes I think Plantzilla wants to talk to me. Do you think he could? It would be awesome. Truly awesome with a capital A. I want to adopt Plantzilla. He's everything I could ever want in a plant and more. I have to talk to my parents first, but I wanted you to know. Mortimer. P.S. Good news. Grolier came back last night. Oh, I don't know if Grolier came back. I think Grolier came out. Oh, look at this. All right, now here's a letter from the mom. It's August 12th. This is what the letter looks like. And here we go. Dear Mr. Lester, Mortimer was right all along. I do not know how we ever got along without Plantzilla. We would like it very much if Plantzilla could live with us forever. He is everything we could ever want in a plant, and more. Under the circumstances, I think it is the right thing to do. Last night, when we had a family meeting to discuss whether or not to adopt Plantzilla, we heard a great commotion coming from the part of the house where Plantzilla has taken his rooms. Notice he said rooms. We rushed to him right away. There was nothing out of the ordinary except for the attached letter. We found it resting on Plantzilla's middle leaves, and it seems to be addressed to you. We wonder if you could fill in some details, or perhaps you would just like to leave what is there between us and the paper it is written on. Ever so sincerely yours in a friendly hopefulness, the Henry Henrysons. Attachment. All right, so I see we got a fiddle, we got a piano, we got a horn, got lots of instruments. We see some dancing. Mortimer looks happy. The dog and the squirrel look happy. Let's see what the attachment said. Here it is. August 11th. Der Luster. Tank. Ooh. Me home in this place. Nice. People good. I will stay with them forever. Plantzilla. And here's what it said. August 14th. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Henryson. This is a letter from Mr. Lester. In view of the circumstances, it would appear that Plantzilla has found the perfect home. Yours very truly, Samuel G. Lester, science teacher and plant program coordinator. P.S. Do please keep in touch. All right. Kind of a long book, but I really love the story. If you would like to know some fun activities that you could do with this book, then you will have to stay tuned to watch part 2 on my YouTube channel. All right. Have a great day. See you later.